my friends. Welcome to Conversations with Arundhati. Bite-sized episodes for busy people who want to learn about staying healthy, life hacks, endometriosis and women's health from me and other experts in the field. I also will be sharing fun snippets from my life as I learn and unlearn about life in general. Let's dive into today's episode. Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode. I am Arundhati Ashok and we are discussing embracing radical confidence while having endometriosis. So today is obviously an endometriosis specific episode, so if you are not interested in this topic, please join me in the wellness episode which happens every Thursday. But if you are, welcome and hello. So today we're going to talk about inspiring stories of women just like you thriving in the world despite having endometriosis. But before all of that, I'm going to dive in and validate, all these struggles. I'm not going to really, push positivity down your throat and say, everything's going to be all rainbows and sunshine. So it's not an episode like that. So I'm first going to dive into these struggles and just kind of validate and make you feel like, your experiences are real. And then we're going to dive into the success stories, right? To get us motivated, to, empower us. And at the end, I'm going to be guiding you with a few mindfulness techniques that you can use as tools to embrace this confidence. Because we all, with endo or without endo, I truly believe can create a life that we want. Right? We can create a life that is good to us despite the pain, despite the struggles. I really truly believe that we can create a life that works for us, that will give us that fulfillment. So that is the whole point of all these episodes that I share, the endometriosis episodes that I share, to show you that despite all of that ugliness that goes on with this illness, that there is good happen, that there is that good that is in you, that there is that strength that is in you, that you can create a life that you want, that not to box yourself to the diagnosis. Because I know how it feels, and I did box myself as well. And seeing all these posts about, pain and all of that on and on again on social media, and then you get a bit lost thinking that's all your life is ever going to be. But that truly is not the case, because if you take the steps, you really restructure your life. Even with the uncertainty, you truly can create a life that you want. So that is the purpose of these episodes. So today, let me really, dive in, share a few experiences that we go through that affects our confidence. Because as I told in the beginning, I want to validate, to make you feel heard, seen, and then let's try to motivate ourselves. Yeah. So some of the things that come up with endometriosis is a chronic pain, right? And because of that, you can feel helpless. Then there's the invisible battle, right? Because people outside, they do not know what's going on. So obviously you have to constantly try to explain, try to communicate, and sometimes it doesn't even go through. So you start to, slowly think, is it, sometimes people think, is it in my head? Or why do I have to work hard at communicating this as well? So, those things really shatter our confidence. Then there is the fertility issue. Some of the women experience fertility issues. Then, talking about that in the society, and when you move around in society, you have to constantly talk about this, constantly, and people constantly show that having kids is like a success, and not having kids is a success. Not having kids, is not a success, that you're a failure. So things like that obviously can affect, right? So then also our lives are constantly interrupted because, our symptoms pop up whenever they want, right? So things like that, then you look like you're not reliable. So again, you're like, am I supposed to, will I be actually giving value to this relationship or my work or whatever that may be? Then you're constantly having endless medical procedures over and over again, and you kind of doubt your body, like, is it really alive? Is it doing the work it's supposed to, right? So many things. Then it affects your career, right? Then the financial issues, right? Because of the medical costs, or even because you are not able to work full time. So all these things that other people don't really see, we go through, right? So I just want to mention those for you to really understand that you're not alone, and these completely are valid experiences that you are going through. right? So now let's kind of pump ourselves up and empower ourselves and learn about a few. Actually, I think there are about 3 or 4 women that I found have endometriosis and they still are successful. But I want to let you know that success doesn't mean millions. Success doesn't mean necessarily your name pops up in media. Obviously, these women that I am discussing do pop up in media. They are public figures, but that doesn't mean you need to become a public figure to say that you are successful, or to run for Congress, or things like that. Success is really different for everyone, right? I just want you to know that and accept that, understand that part of it. So there's Padma Lakshmi, right? She's really a powerful advocate and the co-founder of Endometriosis Foundation of America, and she is in a leading cooking show, right? The Top Chef. So she's doing amazing things, empowering women. She has an amazing career. But she also is struggling with endometriosis as well. But she still got there. She, kept pushing and kept doing what needs to be done. And she's also managing her endometriosis symptoms down as well. And then there's also Lena Dunham. I think you probably know about her, this actress. She's constantly talking about her struggles online. She has a successful drama series, right? She has so many other entertainment projects going on while dealing with her illness. Then there's also the songwriter and singer Halsey, right? I'm sure you know of her as well. Then there's also Hillary Clinton, right? That's pretty impressive that she has endometriosis and still she is doing the amazing things she's doing, right? So then there's also a lady called Dolly Singh. I actually did not know of her properly until I started doing research. She actually she's an entrepreneur, and she's proving over and over that despite having endometriosis, that if you have a passion and if you have determination, you can overcome your obstacles, right? Then there are some, even Marilyn Monroe, right? She did struggle a lot, but then she went up her career. She did amazing things. But again, I want to let you know that I am only talking about public figures because that's how you get to know about other people. But you don't have to be a songwriter. You don't have to be, doing movies or being in the public limelight. But you can create a career or an income, or it doesn't even have to be an income. It can be a life that you want that is successful. So I just want to mention these people. There are so many others as well. There's actually Tia Mowry. She talks about fertility issues all the time and reminds women that you can embrace this, right? These are just a few women, right, that are doing. You can actually do a little more research to learn exactly what they did, what they are doing. But the reason I mentioned these is so you know that, okay, there are women out there really, achieving success. They're doing the work. That does not mean, however, that they didn't fail, that they didn't struggle. Because, when you are doing something, things do come up, especially with having a chronic illness like us. We will have failures. We will have struggles. There will be times where we have to pause. But I want you to know that despite all of that, that you can succeed, right? We just have to keep going, and we have to keep restructuring, keep adjusting, and then you will get there. I personally, right, I have stage 4 endometriosis, but with the things that I do, yoga and the diet and massive restructure of my life, it's been 6 years since I had any endometriosis episode. Can't believe that I'm saying it out loud, but yes, I've not had any issue. But even through all of that, I actually quit my full-time job in Sydney as an accountant, and now, as most of you know, I am a yoga teacher. But even to establish as a yoga teacher, to do the training, then to market myself out there, to do the classes, to have a consistent a workflow, it has been a struggle. But I figured it out over the years. I'm constantly restructuring because I'm scared that I don't want those symptoms to come back again. So I'm very slow, but that doesn't mean that I have been, having my successes as well. So I did like an online coaching program that I launch every 2 times a year. Then I do monthly workshops, things like that. So I adjusted the work according to my health goals. I did not do what everyone out there is doing. I wasn't like, okay, all the yoga teachers out there are doing weekly classes and this and that. That doesn't work according to my health goal. My health goal is like, okay, monthly I can commit, right? And then I do this online coaching twice a year. Actually, last year I only did once a year. So I adjusted according to my bandwidth because I know I'm not going to push too much and I do not want to be in the same place I was 6 years ago. So it takes, touch and go. You have to keep trying. There's so many failures. I mean, my husband knows so many failures over the last 6 years. I'm talking regarding my workflow. I'm trying to create a passive income. I'm trying so many things. So many things are not working. Some are working, And then a few months ago, I hired a VA, virtual assistant. So, you have to keep trying, and some things click, some things don't, and then you double down on what works, and then you keep going. So that is what I have for the success stories. And I want you to know that you can create anything, the life that you want, really, the way you want. Obviously, we will have to do adjustments, but I'm sure you can figure it out. I just want you to know that you can, right? Now, let me give a few mindfulness techniques. As you know, I'm a yoga teacher and I have to share these, and I'm not gonna skip this part. But these are like super simple that can help you to be confident. And to be really honest, I do most of these, actually all of these, on a daily basis. Some of them I do twice a day. So affirmations, right? That is, you have to have a set of affirmations that empowers you. So, whatever that may be, have a few phrases written out and keep saying that over and over again while visualizing, right? Close your eyes and visualize you have achieved it. I know it sounds like a little bit of mumbo jumbo, but these things really do work. Not only can I say that as a yoga teacher, but I can also say that knowing that these do work for me and they have worked for others as well. Then there's the breath work as well, that this is super important. As a yoga teacher, I can tell you, breathing, yogic breathing is really important because that connects to the mind. We use the breath to connect to our mind. That's like the pathway. So once you start manipulating the breath, you're able to access your mind. So that's the reason for breath. That's the reason for breath work. Of course, it calms you down and all of that, all the good stuff. I'm sure you do. But I'm not going to dive into that. But the reason we get into the breath work is to have that access to our mind. So we become the co-pilot and the mind doesn't become the co-pilot. And then we can empower ourselves whenever, for example, for me, whenever a thought that comes into my mind that is negative or something that's going to push me down, I'm like, okay, I observe it and I tell myself that thought is not welcome. Then I replace it with an empowering thought. But to get to that level, you need to have access to your mind. If your mind is, if you go according to whatever the mind says, we're going to be super upset, really in a low, mental state. So that's why breath work is important. Then I also do journaling, and I 100% really understand how this works. Especially in the last 2 years, I have been doing it twice a day. It really helps us see what life truly is for what it is, not for what goes on in our mind. And that really helps us empower ourselves as well. So these are the little tricks, that would help you empower yourself. Because I truly want each and every one of you to know that you are strong, that you can create a life that you want. Please don't box yourself because of the diagnosis. I did that and I lost years of my life. Please do not do that. Know that it'll be a struggle. I'm still struggling trying to figure out my passive income, right? But it has its, you will figure out, because there are things that are going to hit and you will, you just have to double down on that. And I will say that please don't push yourself and, go fall back again and get sick again. So you will realize to find the balance between work and your health, which I think I learned because of endometriosis. If I didn't get that, I don't think I would have, because now I know, okay, my body is indicating, nope, I need a break. I need to step away from the desk or, go outside, take a breath. I've come to that stage. So when you work on yourself on this path that we are in, you will realize as well. So I do hope this, inspires you and gives you a little bit of inspiration to at least take one step, whatever that may be, to know. It can be, no, it doesn't have to be career, it can be your relationships. If you're constantly feeling that you need to work on your relationships that has been affected because of endometriosis, figure out a way that you can communicate, figure out a way that you can show up for them. And that itself, that's life. Career is not the do it or be it all. It's not the end all. So everyone has their own different lives, so I want you to really take that step, whatever that may be. Just take the step and empower yourself, and let me know what's really struck you from this episode. And I hope you found it inspiring, and I will speak to you lovelies next week.